So you'll still be able to do hit any of the three emojis across the bottom to clap or laugh or party sound. That has not changed. If you want to do a comment or a question, there's a couple of ways to do that. So you can hit any of the four emojis in the lower right hand corner, choose an emoji and type in your comment and press send. You can also just hit on the ask button that's across the bottom, and you can ask a question or give a comment. So that's the things you can do. If you want to request to speak, to come to the stage, there's a little emoji that looks like a mic standing on a stage with a spotlight. You just hit that one and you will be able to request to come to the stage. You can also hit the three little circles, the three little dots to come to the stage. Also, you'll see options of whether you want to come to the stage or not. So the show will be starting in probably less than a minute. So see you soon. Well, there we go. We have some audio here. So, welcome to Poetic People Fighting Racism, double PFR. I'm your host, Anthony Cordova, Tony C., the man about love. I'm also the co-host of I'm Right, and the Soul Reader. Yes, and I'm right. I have the privilege to be in the show with my beautiful, my intelligent, my incredibly gifted wife, Jill Cox Cordova, right here on Fireside. Here at Double PFR, we discuss racism and the caste system in the United States of America through poetry, through art, through music, using the voices of our souls, using the strength of our ancestors to heal the fractured country we live in and die in. Here at Double PFR, all souls are welcome. All people are welcome. Welcome to discuss the racism we live in. Come on in. We'll put our arms around you, providing a safe place for you, a home to protect you, a place where you're surrounded by hope, where you're surrounded by compassion, where you're surrounded by empathy, forgiveness, and love, where you're surrounded by love. Now, I'd love for you to come in with me, to stand by me, to see what we can do to change this country, to change the people that live in this country. So I welcome you to Double PFR with love, with so much love. Double PFR. Yes, another episode, and I am not in New Orleans live this week, which is okay. And hello, Charlie. I see you in the audience, and I see also Career. He was here early on, which is cool. Tonight is a little different show. It's not really different, but tonight is all about love. So the title of this show is Do This. LOVE. Just do that. It can be easy and it can be difficult to do that, but that's what we're going to be discussing tonight. That's what I'm going to do a poem on tonight. So that'll be coming up soon. So first, I want to thank everyone in the audience again, because you don't have to be here on a Saturday night. You don't have to be here at all, because most people in this country do not want to discuss racism and or the caste system, which they may believe does not exist. So there we go. Let's fix something on my screen there. So we're going to be doing that. I also want to give another shout out to Fireside. Fireside is an amazing platform. And from the very beginning, and me and my wife have been here for a little over a year. And Fireside has really supported us. Um, Fireside has not censored us, which is also amazing. So we love Fireside with that, and we love Fallon and this app that she has created. It really gives all of us, if you are a creator and you're in the audience or you're watching this in replay, um, we really do need to try to cherish uh, this app because it is at this point a one of a kind, and they're doing things that really haven't been done before. So I just want to thank Fireside for that and all the creators also that we have relationships with. It means a lot to us. And as usual, we love you all. We really do. We really do love all of you. So, let's see. Tonight I'm going to move along pretty quickly to tonight. Let's see if there's anything I'm forgetting to talk about, and I don't believe so. I just wanted to give those shout outs. So I'm going to get right to the poem I'm doing to. Oh, and before I do that, anyone in the audience or anyone that's listening to this in replay, know that when you come to this show, you can chime in anytime you want. And I am always try to provide a safe place for us to have discussions about what we live in. So if there are questions you always wanted to ask a person of color, this is the place to do it. If there is something you didn't understand when it comes to African Americans or anyone of color in this country, this is the place to do it. Um, Again, I really do try to provide a safe place for this. Checking some of my paperwork here. Okay, so now let's get to the poem of the night. Let's see. My producer Jill, do you have a comment?
Yes. Earlier when Career Success Secrets was here,
Yes.
um, they wrote, "I heart your loving vibe. Thank you for being you."
Oh, well, thank you.
I second that emotion.
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
Happy anniversary.
I see. Thank you. Oh, yeah. By the way, it's Jill and I's 17th anniversary. Woohoo! Yay! Can you believe it? 17 years.
We
And
made
hello, Tammy. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so happy to see you here. Always happy to see you here, Tammy. So I hope everything is going well for you, Tammy. So yeah, I'm going to get right into the poem tonight. I'm going to move pretty quickly tonight just because I'm just a little bit tired. So tonight, the poem is Love, Love, Love. As most of you know that are here or watching in replay, I'm all about love. I believe we really should try try to learn how to love each other. Um, it can make this country, this world enormously different and enormously better. Um, even us African Americans in this country or anyone of color in this country, it seems we do less supporting of each other than lifting each other up. Now, I always try to lift us up, or especially us and people of other colors that are of color. Um, I try not to show any division. Okay, so now let's get into it. Tonight, the poem is, let me fix something right here, is Love, love, love. So here we go. We must love in a way we have never loved before. Love in a way that we have never felt before. See how we haven't felt this kind of oneness, this kind of love before. We must love and love and love and embrace the unity of love. Love that has been there for us. Love inside us for us. We need to see more love in all of us, even in the lost, confused, and hateful souls around us. Oh, love. It's a glorious love, an unconditional love, a peaceful, calming, coming from the source of love. Love. Love has been given to us, a wonderful gift of love within us. The greatest gift ever given. An abundance of overflowing love. Oh, love. It's a forgiving love that knows we don't always show love or give much love, but it's a glorious love that sees us and still loves us as imperfect as we are. Most times, we don't spread love. We separate each other. We separate from each other. We must do better. We have to do better. Love the others because we are the others. We have to love each other in order to save ourselves and the others. Oh, love. It's a compassionate love that loves us when we have been broke down, knocked down, and ground down by the cruel souls around us that bound us. But love is around us when we try to get up, to come up, to stand up, to face the sky, to be equal to all men and women we see alive. Oh, that love that stands by our side and holds us up and pulls us up with love inside us, always with us. This kind of love is our power, our strength, our peace. This kind of love is our loving, living Savior, our divine living weapon, our loving, giving future. This kind of love we must love and come together and love each other against our racist oppressors. Oh, love. Oh, love. Love, love, love. Woohoo! Okay. That is it. Thank you very much for the applause. I appreciate that. So yeah, all about love. We need to discuss more love with each other and display it to each other and support each other. So that's something I really believe we need to do, and it would make our lives a better place. So I just want to see does anyone have any comments or questions or anything, or does anyone want to come to the stage to say anything or do anything or anything else? And then if not, I will go straight into this poem again and pick out some of the lines in it and really get to what I meant. And, with poetry, you can interpret this any way you wish. Jill, is there a comment?
There is. It's from Charlie.
Hey, Charlie, my man.
He says, Happy anniversary.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
May the matrimony move your emotions, and may the engagement be the best thing for your heart and soul. With all your intimacy, may the titles given and received be soulmates. A poetic pulse.
Oh, Charlie, you're going to make me cry. That was definitely a real that was great. It was better than a greeting card, that's for sure. I think maybe you should write some greeting cards, another form of income, because we do need multiple sources of income. And really, your words that you just gave mean a lot to both me and Jill. So thank you very much. And no one has ever written something like that for us. So, I really, really appreciate it. And Jill, is there another comment?
Charlie says, Love you, and I wish.
Love you too, Charlie. Love you too. All right. Any more comments, Jill?
Earlier, Tammy thanked you when you welcomed her to the show.
Oh, thank you, Tammy. And as you know, I always say the same thing when I see you on the stage. I'm always happy to see you and feel you here.
And she also said happy anniversary to us.
Thank you. And Tammy, if you didn't know, I have a new show on called The Soul Reader. And if you get a chance, check that out. It's on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I would love to see you there, but I won't put you on the spot. I won't do that. Okay. Now I'm going to go through this poem really, really quickly. So early on in the beginning, let's see, which one am I going to pick out? Okay. I have love in a way that we have never felt before. And that's like the third line into the poem. And what I mean like that is, over the years, we have taught ourselves not to be free giving with our love, with the love we put out, because we become very guarded because of things that have happened in our lives. When we're children, we find it very easy to love our parents, to love our friends, to just be open to, new people that we meet. But as we get older, we begin to protect ourselves so we won't get hurt. And we do need to protect ourselves. But over the years, we learn that some people, many people on this planet, don't treat us right. They treat us with hatred and disdain. So that's one of the reasons we need to be guarded. So it's hard to just give this love. Just give of yourself. Just give to this love because you're guarded, because you don't want to be hurt. And the people that we give this love to, and I'm not just talking about romantic love, I'm talking about love of mankind. Somebody else told me this, and it was a very good description of the type of love we need to give out. And she said, we need to have that Jesus kind of love. So if you think about Jesus and the type of love Jesus gave out the type of love to everyone, to sinners, to people that have treated other people wrong, to people that have treated Jesus wrong. But he would still give that love. And that's kind of the way we need to be. That is the way we're supposed to be on this planet. And yes, we're guarded, and we do have to protect ourselves. But even with protecting ourselves, we can still give that love. We can still give it. If you see a homeless person, don't automatically look at them as a bad thing, a thing that you don't want to be near. Give some compassion, give some empathy, give some love. Freely give to another person. Yes, Jill.
Speaking of that, a very loving person. I don't know if you noticed she's in the audience, but Connie is in our audience.
Yes,
And
Connie
she
and
also
Ronaldo. Yes.
said happy anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. My favorite sister in law. I'm so happy you're here. Um, so this is what I mean about the love that you've never felt before. Um, I go on into the next line and I talk about see how we haven't found this kind of oneness, this kind of love. So really that's what I'm talking about. We have to understand that we are each other. One not better than the other. We are each other. So we should have some love for each other. That type of oneness. You're not separate from me. I'm not separate for you. We're in this together with love. And I always have to say, that doesn't mean you like the person. You may not like that person. You may not have anything in common with that person. You may not agree with the way that person lives their lives. They may be an alcoholic. They may be a drug addict. So you may not agree with those things. They may not go to church like me. But please still have some love for me because I have some for you. Okay, now let's find something else in here. What other goodies do we have in here? I am going to go down to, oh, it's a glorious love, an unconditional love, a peaceful, calming love coming from the source of love. So this is all about the connection. If you want to say God, great. If you want to say the Holy Spirit, great. If you want to say a higher power, great. It doesn't matter what religion you are. Some power created us, and we don't have the answers to how that happened. Everybody's trying to prove how it happened, how this world came to an existence, but the reality is this world does exist, and we all exist in it. So we're getting back to that Jesus kind of love. And I'm not trying to sound like a preacher in this episode because I'm far from that, as we all know. But when I'm talking about glorious, glorious love, unconditional love, unfortunately, here on this planet, on planet Earth, we have a hard time understanding unconditional love. The love we give usually has conditions. I'll love you as long as you do what I feel like you should do. I love you as long as you make the money I think you should be making. I will love you if you go to the church I want you to go to. I'll love you if you're in the religion I want you to be in. All of these conditions. I love you if you go to the college that I want you to go to. I'll love you if you uh, pursue the career that I want you to. I'll love you if you just do for me. But if you don't do for me, I don't love you. All of these conditions for love. But love should be unconditional. I go on to talk about it's a peaceful, calming love. That's what love should be. Love shouldn't make us feel awful. But that happens when people sends that conditional love towards us. It's not peaceful and calming. It's filled with all of this negative energy. That is not what love is supposed to be. If you're in a relationship and you and your partner are going at it all the time, you're just going at it. And then you have make-up sex and you're like, oh, all is good, all is good. That is not the type of love I'm talking about. I call that, and I know, and this is why I can call it this. I call it sick love. Because in my past, I always sought out sick love. That exciting love. You fight and you make up and you have crazy sex and all of this, yeah. But that's not a peaceful, calming love. And that's why I call it sick love. It's not real. So yes, there is love in there. But it's not that pure kind of love. Not that pure kind of love. All right, let's see what else. And mind you, anytime you have a comment when I'm going through this, please feel free because I would love to hear what you would say. And I'm sure the audience here tonight would love to hear what you say. And the audience in replay would like to hear what you have to say. So anytime you want to say anything, go right ahead. Okay. I go on to talk about it's the greatest gift ever given, an abundance of overflowing love. This is what we have when we're young, when we're children, before we become tainted by the world around us. It's a gift that we cannot even comprehend. Can you imagine? And this may be unrealistic to many people. But can you imagine that everybody around you has love for you? So if everyone around you has love for you, you don't have to worry about getting mugged. You don't have to worry about somebody robbing you. You don't have to worry about someone doing you wrong at your job or taking your work for their credit. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about someone scamming you. It's so simple, but so hard. You don't have to worry about those things if the person next to you, whoever it is, has nothing but good intention for you. The person that sits next to you, whoever it is, wherever it is, has no desire to hurt you in any kind of way. That person only wants good for you because of the love they have inside of them, because of the love you have inside of them. Yeah, is it unrealistic? Yeah, on this planet, yeah, kind of is. But it doesn't mean because it's unrealistic that it may not happen within our lifetimes. It doesn't mean I don't want to live that way. I don't want to walk around looking, and if some of you didn't know, uh, I grew up in New York. And in New York, you have to learn to be very very hard, and everyone, uh, suspect everyone that they're going to do something to do you some harm. So it's a rough life to live, and it makes you very cautious. Now, that cautiousness can save your life, in New York, and save your save your life in other situations. But who wants to live like that? But when you're in it and you're living it, you don't even know that there's a better way, because that's the way you have to live when you're in those types of environments. So, all right, let's move on. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's a forgiving love that knows we don't always show or give much love. So, this love that's around us, this what I call the Jesus type of love, we're only human. We make mistakes. But this kind of love forgives us, because this kind of love knows we are not perfect. But this type of love is that really unconditional love. It really is. So we are forgiven for what we do when there's that type of love. I have had people in my life that have hurt me over and over and over again. And it's not because I'm a pushover, because I'm not. But it's because I forgive them. I forgive them. Now, eventually, I have to create some distance between me and these particular people. But I still don't have any hatred for them. I still have love for them. So I don't allow their actions to change me, to change how I put out love and how I see it and how I live in it, because it's unconditional. I never tell these people, even when I have to separate myself from them and put some distance between me and them, I never will say anything like, oh, I don't love you because you did this to me or you did that to me. I still have love for these people. I do. You can say I'm wrong. It's okay. Doesn't matter, because I'm still happy. I'm not holding the grudges. I just know I have to have distance between me and them, because I can't let them continue to hurt me. Let's see. And I'm almost through this, so we'll get through it in just a minute. Um, okay, I real quick. I talk about we don't spread love. We don't spread much love. We don't do it. We really don't. But let's try. Just let's try. I don't think I have to go into real detail on that line, but let's try. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to be kind to a stranger. It doesn't take much to just help somebody just because they needed some help. Maybe this help doesn't cost you a cent. Maybe this help only takes 30 seconds to give this person some help. Try to help somebody without looking for anything back. It makes a difference. I'm going to tell a quick story on that. So I used to sell things at uh, flea markets. And one of the flea markets I did, most of the people that came were senior citizens. And I had an item, and I don't remember what the item is, but I had it for $2. $2 might have been a kitchen utensil or something. I really don't remember what it is or what it was. And I watched this woman that was probably in her maybe early 80s. And she came by and she looked at this item and she picked it up and she put it back down and she picked it up and put it back down and she just stood there and then she left. In about a half hour she came back, did the same thing, put it back down and left. About an hour later she came back, excuse me, and did the same thing. So I walked up to her and I said, "Hey, do you like that item? Do you need that item?" She says, "Yeah, I do like it and I really need one of these." And I said, "Well, what's the problem?" She said, "I'm trying to figure out whether I can afford it or not," because she was on a fixed income. So I put it in her hand and I said, "Here, it's yours." And this is a $2 item. And this item probably cost me less than a penny. And I gave it to her. And she says, "Oh, thank God, you are such a blessing." And she started to cry. And she says, "No one has ever given me anything in my whole life. And thank you. You are such a blessing." So, my point is, it doesn't take much. You don't know what your generosity, what your love may do for a person. You never know. So something so small meant that much to her. It gave her an experience that she never had in her life. And she was 80 something years old. It doesn't take much. Be kind, be loving. Now, I just told that story, but I have done that many times. And I don't do things like that to try to get into heaven. I do it because it's the right thing to do. Just simple, real simple. Okay. Let's go on. Okay. I like this one. Now, this line, I say, love the others because we are the others. We have to love each other to save ourselves and save the others. So, no matter who we are the others. We are the others that other people talk about. We are the blacks and the browns and the yellows. We're the others. We're all the others. So if we don't want to be treated like others, we need to love the people that are treated like others, which includes ourselves. None of us want to be treated like we're less than. But if you come from another country and you are of color and you live in this country, you are another. And this country is not going to treat you with open arms. This country is not going to treat you with love. So we have to remember that. African Americans in this country get treated awfully. Have been for hundreds of years. And we're still being treated horribly. But Mexicans are treated horribly here too. And Asians are treated horribly here too. And I don't even want to get into who got the worst of it. The deal is, all of us are treated like crap. And we don't want to get into, oh, we were treated less than you, worse than you. And that may be true, but we're all treated horribly. And it's got to stop. And it stops by us beginning to love each other and quit being separate. We're separating ourselves all the time. So that's how we help with that. We have a comment or question.
Yes, from Charlie. He says, "An American history of mistreatment."
And that is correct, which is, and thank you for that, Charlie, which is ongoing. Doesn't stop. Hasn't changed. And in many ways, it's getting worse. The gains we have made in this country, we're losing quickly. So if we don't start treating each other better and treating the other people better, so we can all be together instead of separate, we really are fighting a battle. I think the U.S. Census says that by 2045, that the majority of this country will be people of color. So people of color will be the majority, not the minority. Now, separately, all of the different groups, the different ethnicities would not be a majority. But together, we would be a majority. We need to think about that. Because I sure tell you, the people in power are thinking about it. And they want to keep their hold on us. They want to keep their hold on us, and they want to keep their positions of power. So unless we start loving each other and taking care of each other, they will keep their power over us. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I have a friend that lives in Bermuda, and I asked him about the demographics of Bermuda. And he's told me that the black population makes up 80% of Bermuda. The European population makes up about 20% of Bermuda. But yet, it's the Europeans that hold all of the power. And I think Jill, my producer, has something to say or comment.
We have another comment from Charlie. He says, we underestimate the value of rights awarded to us from the 1960s, 1970s, and 1980s.
Yes, and that is
And he
absolutely
says he's seen that firsthand for the last thing you said.
yes. And here's the thing with that, Charlie, and I'm sure you know this, but I'm just gonna say it if anyone doesn't know it. So part of the issue with that is that our younger generation, people that were born after the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, they don't know this. They don't know or understand the way it was. They only know the life they lived in. And they didn't have to experience a lot of the things we experienced. They didn't have to, they didn't see the marches. They didn't see uh, all the beatings of us and the hangings of us. They didn't see that. So they don't know it existed. So when we lose certain rights that we've had since the 60s, they don't know the difference. They might say, so what? We're doing fine. But what they don't know is that we're not doing fine. But in their smaller world, they don't see it. And it's unfortunate. And this is why, and I know you do this, Charlie, for sure, but this is why at this time on this planet, in this country, if you're a person of color, you really have a responsibility to speak up, to do whatever small thing you can do. If you know that there's a particular book that was banned from a school library, you need to shout it all over the place. Maybe you need to buy that book for someone that wants to read it.
Charlie said, right on.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Charlie. So we do have a responsibility more than ever. And it's like I said earlier, you don't have to do something big. It can be something small that can make a big difference in a person's life. So don't underestimate your strength, your power, what you're able to do with the knowledge you have, with the few dollars you may have, or just by service. Whatever it is you do, we have to love each other. We have to. Okay. We're going to move on a little bit more, and I may not have much more. Okay. Here we go. This kind of love is our loving, living Savior, our divine, living weapon. Think about that. Our love, our loving, living future. So if we approach things from a viewpoint of love. I call it a divine living weapon. Our love is powerful, very powerful. So I'm sure you've heard the phrase divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Well, that's what they've been doing to us since they brought us over on slave ships. They divide us and conquer us. They pit us against each other, which divides us. And then they conquer us to where we can't do a doggone thing. So the same thing happens today. They divide and conquer us. If you are a person that has done good in your life, and you have a good education, you have a nice home, you are the model of success. And I'm sure along the way, and I'm sure all of you have seen this, a person of color makes it to a certain position and they just forget about everybody else. And they get those ideas from the European people in this country, the people of a European descent, or they believe they are. And that's another way of dividing us, because we won't stand up for each other no matter what position a person is in. We just leave them behind. There are so many people that have more money than they will ever spend. But yet they don't do anything to help anyone. And I'm saying that's not everybody, but there's a lot of people. When they get to a certain status, they're not thinking about anybody below them. They don't care. They have no love for anyone that's beneath them. It's a horrible thing. A really horrible thing. So, love for each other is a divine living weapon, because if they can't divide us, that is strength. If they can't pit us against each other, that is powerful. More powerful probably than anybody believes, but that is so powerful. They'd never be able to break us. Love. Powerful. Powerful, powerful, powerful. And I think that's all I'm going to talk about in this poem. All about love. All about love. So I'm going to ask again, is there any more comments or questions in the audience? I would be happy to take any. And if not, I will start wrapping this show up. That means I got in under an hour. And Jill's giving me the side eye like, you hardly get in under an hour, but I will this time. This time it'll be under an hour. So I want to remind everyone to be an everyday activist. And that everyday activist is what I was talking about earlier about do something. No matter how small it is, just do something. And the next time you might do a little bit more. Just do what you can. All of us are kind of tight on money and we're trying to get by and we're trying to take care of our families and pay our bills. But some things you can do hardly cost anything. Yes, Jill.
Connie says, preach and beat that drum.
Boom, yes. Yes. Drums. I'm trying to knock stuff over here. Trying to play the drums. Maybe I should do that one show. Play the drums. Still shaking her head like, no, don't play the drums one show. Okay. Now let's get back to closing out this show. Okay. So I just said, try to be an everyday activist. Also, try to be love. Try to show love. Tell somebody you love them. I know it can be difficult, but try that. Try to say it more and more on an everyday basis to tell someone that you love them, which would be really cool. Some people may get confused by it, but that's okay. Maybe they'll get used to it after a while. So, this has been the show for this Tuesday night. First of all, let's see. I think, even though I didn't post the show yet, the next show is episode 10, and that's not next Saturday, but the Saturday after, whatever that date is. The topic of that show is going to be living in fear and tears. We all know about that, don't we? All right. The music playing right now is, and before I do that, so I don't forget, I want to thank everyone that's come to the audience, and I'm probably going to thank you again, but everyone that's come to the show tonight, thank you so much. Tell your friends about this show, get them to come or show it to them in the replay, which would be cool. Which would be really cool. Spread it around a little bit because, I am all about love and racism and the caste system. So we know all of that. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Connie and Ronaldo. Thank you, Tammy. And I also thank my producer, Jill, where I would be lost without her. Okay, the music playing right now, which is the intro. It's called Choral by 29 Beats. And then the music I played during the poem is called Cocoa. And that's by Serta Beats. And all of those I got from beatstar.com. And I've already told you, actually, there is the date. May 15th. May 15th, it'll be episode 10, Living in Fear and Tears. So again, I thank you all again for coming tonight and for taking your time out, because you could be somewhere else. You could be out partying, having a good time. But instead, you're here with me. And this ain't quite a party, but it's cool. And there's the intro music gone. So as usual, I love you all. I can't wait to see you again. So I am going to say bye. I'm leaving the stage.